This week, I was looking at the Amazon bestseller list and I saw four famous authors who I happen to know self-published their first books. So if you don't know that self-publishing is a wonderful way to be successful, this video is going to turn your world upside down because I'm going to talk about the four stories of these four authors who I know you've heard of, starting with John Grisham. And then I want to go into five lessons that can be derived from their examples. So not only are we going to be very surprised by these authors who many of you have read, happen to start out by self-publishing, but I also really want to examine their cases and show what they did that made them successful. So let's get into it, starting with John Grisham. A Time to Kill, 1989. Rejected, and rejected by publishers. He could not get his foot in the door with this, what turned out to be a great book and an incredibly successful career. So, what did he do? He did not take no for an answer. He couldn't get into bookstores. So, he started selling his books out of the trunk of his car in 1989, when most people didn't buy books out of the back of a trunk of a car. They still don't, but that's what he did to get going. And then after that, he sold the firm, and the rest is history. Number two and three on the list, they were amazing KDP successes. So they started out ebooks alone in 2012 and 2013. Those fabulous authors are Colleen Hoover and Frida McFadden. Both have bestsellers right on that Amazon list right now. And so with Colleen Hoover and Frida McFadden, they started out publishing ebooks for family, and things just took off from there. Finally, we've got a self-help author. We know so many self-help authors have been successful with self-publishing, but the person who has topped the list for weeks, Mel Robbins, is one you may not know. I've done Brene Brown because Brene Brown started self-publishing too. I don't think she's on the list this week, but she's on the list a lot, and I have another video about her story. So this time, I really want to talk about what stands out about these cases so we can implement the same things for ourselves. So first, I've said this before, but it's so important. Choose yourself. There isn't just one path to success. And when you put your hopes and dreams in the hands of someone else, everything becomes so much more precarious. We can see that with authors Frida McFadden, Colleen Hoover, nothing was going to stop them. They weren't going to let themselves be rejected, and they chose themselves, which is the decision any author who is successful has to keep making. One of the things that inspired this video is I was doing the master class with David Baldacci to get some good suspense advice. And he mentioned how John Grisham self-published his first book. And so he was saying, no matter how you publish, David Baldacci is another huge selling author. And he's like, you got to know the business. You got to choose yourself. You got to get out there. Nobody is going to support you as much as you will support yourself. So, lesson number one, choose yourself. Lesson number two, do what you do best. When we look at these authors, John Grisham, Colleen Hoover, Frida McFadden, Mel Robbins, they would not have been successful writing somebody else's book. They are all very authentic. John Grisham, he was a lawyer. He found what he does fascinating. Colleen Hoover writes from deep, authentic emotions and her own experiences in romance. Frida McFadden, she can't get enough thrillers. She reads what she writes and she loves those emotions. Mel Robbins also, she uses her lessons. She uses what changed her life to change the life of others. So you've got to commit to your authenticity and really find your own voice. Do what you do best. This is kind of a funny little secret, but sometimes there'll be a hot genre and people will ask me, should I just write a romance and be automatically successful? And my answer is always no, because you will be successful at what you love, not what is trending. So write your own book. Lesson two. Lesson three, understand your genre and your audience. All of these authors read what they write. They devour what they write. Mel Robbins, in particular, she knew her audience because she had had a hit YouTube video, and then she converted that idea, the 5 second rule, into her book. So know your genre. Frida McFadden, she knows her genre. She knows the beats of her genre. She knows how readers want to feel when they read her books. That's so important. And then take that genre, take what you do best, and stay consistent. Iterate. This is lesson number four. All of these authors were not successful at first, and then they iterated and iterated. They wrote more books. They consistently published books, and some did great, others did less great, but they just kept learning and stayed consistent. If you consider yourself a one book author, if you believe you're only going to have one idea, don't fall for that. Keep going, keep developing. Write down everything you think about. You're going to find inspiration is like a fountain. And so, as long as you honor your ideas by writing them down, then you're going to start to really have that flow and have that inspiration coming. And then finally, no matter what, just take the next right action. Um, you always know if you haven't finished your book yet, know what you need to do for your next chapter, for your character development. I have free prompts below. That's what I use for my next right action. If I feel stuck, I look for a question rather than an answer, and I keep writing. If you're getting rejected a ton of times, self-publish. That is a wonderful way to go. But just keep on taking an action. Don't overthink, just do the next step, and you are going to develop the momentum that will take you into success. So, I do these videos every single Friday. Please like and subscribe. And if you want some help, I have my self published book. Miranda Reich's the thriller author, and I wrote this together. She's a former client. And so pick this up, the Rapid Novel Blueprint. If you want to know how to keep going, this is how to keep going. There's plenty of great advice in here. And if you want something free, I got something free. Get the free prompts below. They'll be delivered right to your email. See you soon. Ciao for now.